And the player introductions are wrapped up. The starting fives for both teams. As we're just about ready to get this one started.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight we'll be watching the Los Angeles Clippers playing against the Memphis Grizzlies at FedEx Forum.
Hi, everyone. Time to get into it. D8. Fantastic as always, David. Thank you. Jay certainly had his ups and downs, Greg, along the way.
Well, ultimately, having to fight for a spot in this league may make him a better player. He's already been tested and come out on.
So Memphis going with almost an entire new grouping. Clark, he's checked in for Jackson. Kyle Anderson comes in for Justice Winslow. DeAnthony Melton, he's checked in for Brooks. And Jones subbed in for Morant. And the emphasis on mobility, a challenge for lumbering 7-footers like Valanciunas.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be the quickest when you're 7 feet tall, Kevin. I mean, in order to earn his keep, he has to be dominant inside. I mean, he has that capability.
Here's George, and the rejection by Valanciunas.
Oh, you love seeing Valanciunas spike it back. When he's active on this end, it makes a difference.
A putback, that one's not going to go. So the Clippers will take it the other way.
Not the most productive quarter he'll ever have, but his shot selection's been a little bit...
Outside, Jones. And again, Memphis no good.
Just doing the job on the backcourt.
Here's George. Stolen by Anderson. .58 seconds left to play in the first. And the rejection by Zubac. The Clippers in the lead. From deep. Grizzlies with the rebound. Valanciunas has got 4 rebounds in this game. Williams against Jones. Passes it to Anderson. 6 on the shot clock. From the baseline. Here's Valanciunas. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there. And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
Yeah, and they took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Whether he's starting or coming off the bench, Valanciunas is a nice piece to have. He's a big man who's a nightly double-double threat.
He doesn't get the second one. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. The Clippers on top. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here. What have they been doing or not doing?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
They've got Jones. Clark is out there with Kyle Anderson. Then it's Gorgie Dang, and it's Melton in at the 2. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Hey, Chris, with Dirk retiring, who now has the best fadeaway, you think, in the game from the post position?
It's a man that stole his move. Now, he didn't need to steal it. He just added on to his game. He's a great person. He's not a thief, but he uses that one-leg kick fadeaway, and he's the same height as Dirk. Well, that's Kevin Durant, the best fadeaway in the game, period.
Towns is developing a nice one, too.
Oh, you know what? I love Towns' games inside, and what makes Towns so good is that he can fade away over the right shoulder. And you know why that makes it so tough? Because he can come over the left shoulder with a jump hook. Most guys with the best fadeaways, they have a counter that already gets you hung in on that counter, and then when you're thinking about that original move, bam, they hit you with the fadeaway.
And so it's Memphis with it. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Okay, listen, you got to body him up when he's in the paint. If you play off of him, then that's just 2 easy points.
Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Now the pass to Jang. Shoots over Zubac. And another miss by Memphis.
You expect him to make those. They've got to do more to get a hand in his face next time.
It's a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the son of an NBA player. And I'm so old, I covered his dad in college. Growing up, his parents let him find his passion, but the game was always in his genes. Jackson Jr. said, "I've always prided myself on being more than just a basketball player, but I can't deny my laser focus on the sport." Kevin, he's following in his father's footsteps. But looking...
With 1 on the clock, that shot misses. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Clippers lead by... Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how... Some changes here for the Grizzlies. Anderson comes in for Valanciunas, and it's DeAnthony Melton in for Justice Winslow. The Clippers have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. The free throw drops for Leonard.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
And the Clippers, looking who they've got, the 2 stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then it's Patrick Beverley. And the Clippers making a switch here. Patterson's checked in.
And one of the younger players to enter the 2019 draft, Morant, wise beyond his years.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. Here's Melton. He's still scoreless so far in this one. With the teardrop, Brooks kicks to Morant. But they'll get another chance.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today.
It's George on the wing. Back to Patterson. Just 5 to shoot. 14 feet away. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
I like seeing Anderson look to capitalize from there, showing that nice soft touch on that shot.
To the left side wing. 1:44 left in the third quarter of the game. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Here's Brooks. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Zubac has got his 7th rebound here tonight. And the layup's good off the glass. 6 points for him.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Now here's Morant. He's guarded closely. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, his father played in the NBA. He grew up in Indiana. His father was a teammate of mine, Jaren Jackson, over at the Wizards. He took on Jordan and those guys.
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played to tie it up. And it's Jones timing the assist from Valanciunas. Jones has got it all tied up now for the Grizzlies. LA's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Chris and Jaron Sr., a three-point marksman, made sure his son worked on his perimeter shooting from a young age.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Jaron Sr. Even as some of Junior's coaches wanted him to focus on his inside game, Dad knew better. He said, sooner or later, son, you're going to need that outside shot. Boy, was he right.
They've got Clark. Morant is out there with Jones. Then it's Justice Winslow. And it's Valanciunas in at the center. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Jones looking for an opening. 5 to shoot. Over Morris. Here's Valanciunas, fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
Oh, I love the rapid intensity right there. Valanciunas, he is capable of doing real damage on the offensive boards.
Brooks checked in for Memphis. George is checked in for the Clippers. And last season, Jonas Valanciunas averaging the fewest minutes of his career. Greg, at the same time, he was playing the best basketball of his career.
I mean, his scoring per minute through the roof. Rebounding at a career high level. He can dominate inside, especially at that offensive end. That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
Oh, exactly right. Momentum-shifting plays like that can change the tone of a game.
Here's Leonard. Nice D from Valanciunas.
Nothing less than that kind of defense will cut it against him. That's just great work inside.
Winslow, the pass to Morant. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
And this is what you want from your leader. No moment is too big for Morant.
Right side, George. Out to the right wing. Harrell with it. Pass to Morris. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. On the wing, George. Second shot opportunity. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It goes on Justice Winslow.
And the soft-spoken Leonard is now an elite talent in this league, an athletic forward who leads by example.
Jackson, he's checked in for Clark.
Wrong guy to put on the line in the close game. You know he's not going to miss.
And Memphis with another turnover here.
Oh, no. Don't tell me. He just didn't do that, did he? A critical point of the game. And he makes just about the worst mistake possible.
And the Clippers call time here. They're leading by 1. 1:31 left in the fourth quarter. Now the presentation of our Jordan player of the game, Kawhi Leonard.
And to me, the best part of the game has been the work he's done inside. I mean, slashing, driving the lane, attacking the basket at every chance. When he's had an opening, he's taken it.
1:31 left here in the fourth quarter. Dishes it to Morris. Takes the 13-footer. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Winslow with it. George picks him up. Outside for Jackson. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
Last thing they want to be doing right now is giving away possessions. I mean, turnovers can kill you in this kind of game.
Clippers moving the ball around. Leonard, the bounce pass. To the inside. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Morant. Another shot. It drops.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Yeah, he approached that one with total confidence. He has what it takes to come through in the clutch.
Pass to George. From downtown, hands the 3.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
But it had to be. These days, you need to stretch the floor somewhat to make everything else work.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're down by 2. Now Morant. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And he does get the second one. And that will put them up by 2. And so now a timeout called by Doc Rivers. Guys, your thoughts?
And the only chance here is a lob at the front of the rim. A tip in to tie the game. There's not enough time to get a catch and shoot.
So a close game sees Memphis take this one. That was a
Where do I start? Where do I get my rhythm? Where do I get my groove?
I always start off with a bounce. You just start with a bounce, and then you see.
I'm part of the baddest game, most successful game in the world. I went to Portugal this year, and the young tour guide goes,
I'll tell you what, Hornet.
Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2. Now it's ended down to David. Thanks, David. Shea is marketable, Greg, as they get.
And I'm not too surprised that Jay's already landing sponsors. I mean, he has the game, the personality, and he has a lot of people rooting for him.
And the Clippers starting 5. Who do you think is the best center right now, spacing the floor and also embracing the traditional responsibilities of a center?
Boy, I tell you, it wasn't until the playoffs of this past season that I got to see Jokic. My goodness, he is a
Something,
joy
isn't he? Wow.
to watch. His footwork, his shot making, his skill, and I think his passing is probably the best attribute of his game. But I would put him in that category because he can make the deep three. Embiid is streaky from there. In terms of the balanced approach, I think probably you could throw Karl Anthony Towns in that mix.
Good names. Murray, the pass to Lyles. Here's Johnson. DeRozan trying to get open. The teardrop falls in.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the float.
Outside Williams. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
And a chance here to see where the Clippers sit in the NBA statistically right now.
And, you know, going back to their turnovers, fewest in our league, that shows you the intelligence they play with. You have to beat them. They are not going to do it for you.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Ivica Zubac has checked in for Harrell, and it's Patterson in for Morris. Here's Williams, and Pirtle sends it back.
Wonderful anticipation that time from Pert, positioning himself perfectly to send that one back. You know, he looks a little off-kilter to me this quarter, still trying to find his rhythm.
To the paint, here's Williams. That shot missing, so the Spurs will take it the other way. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And the rejection by Zubac.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
Out to the right wing. Here's Pirtle. The shot from the low post is good.
There's no stopping Pirtle when he has the ball in that spot. Just abusing the defense down in the paint.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. On the wing, Williams. High post, Zubats. 6 to shoot. From deep three-point range, San Antonio with the rebound. Coming off that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them do a little bit of everything in that game. Showed a lot of versatility.
And, you know, everything seemed to just kind of flow naturally for them. Felt like they were in a groove from the opening tip.
And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Clippers lead by 1. And in 2018, DeMar DeRozan opened up about his...
A lot of people ashamed to talk about it.
Yep, you love the honesty and the bravery to step forward and tell his emotional story.
Yeah, he opened a dialogue. Kevin Love following his lead to talk about anxiety. Athletes as public figures can have a broader impact than just entertaining. And we see it over and over again.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for Los Angeles?
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And also, they've been really active on the defensive end in terms of applying pressure and coming away with steals.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at Los Angeles, they've got Jackson. Murray out there with Patrick Patterson. Then it's Ivica Zubats. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, one of the things that the NBA has been forward thinking about is always accepting new ideas. And they've got a bunch of them on the table in recent weeks. A mid-season tournament, a postseason play-in tournament, maybe even reducing the 82-game regular season schedule. Now, all of these would be very bold moves, but Commissioner Adam Silver has always demonstrated a willingness to think outside the box. Kevin?
Great assessment, good report. Thank you so much. Johnson against Williams. Murray left side. And there's the defensive 3-second call. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Spurs.
And they've made an effort to get to the line here in the first half, guys, and it's starting to pay off.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
Back to Johnson, wide open. No good on that one, and it's the Clippers taking it the other way. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
And that was a shocker. Hard to believe that they dropped the ball, so to speak, on that one, and probably a tough pill for them to swallow.
And to lose it like they did, too. Wow, right at the end, and makes it even tougher to take.
First one falls for them.
You know, the Spurs are never afraid to play to the tune of their own drummer. I mean, just as the rest of the league embraces threes and layups, the Spurs going against that grain, leading the league in mid-range shots and post-up.
Murray with it. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Murray kicks to Lyles. Stolen by Zubats. Pirtle with the steal. And the dunk by Pirtle.
Boy, gotta respect Pirtle's aggressiveness. Putting it on the floor and getting the job done on the drive, that's big time.
Here's Williams. Good D by Johnson.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Yeah, still close, but with their tough play on the boards, we're certainly seeing the effort.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
Rudy Gay, he's feeling it tonight. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after... that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Rudy Gay having a dominant impact in this game.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
Gay and Aldridge are up front. Then it's DeRozan. Then there's DeJounte Murray. And it's Forbes in at the shooting guard position. That's the San Antonio 5. Now here's Beverly. Defense right on him. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Shot clock at 5. For 3. Nailed from three-point land. Beverly's got 6.
Well, I tell you what, Beverly's really improved as a three-point shooter, as dependable as they come now, shooting from behind the arc.
Passes it to Gay. And Clark, when you look at how the game has changed, if you were entering the league today, how would you reshape your skill set?
Well, the biggest part would be expanding my shooting range. I was a good shooter at the time that I played, but would need to expand it and was just starting to stretch out my shooting to the three-point line. And then also defensively, be a little more committed to that end of the floor, really working to get better there. But ball handling, passing, scoring, rebounding, those were things that I did pretty well.
Here's Forbes. Morris with the rebound.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And a look now at San Antonio's upcoming schedule. On Sunday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons. Then on Tuesday, they'll be playing against James Harden and the Houston Rockets.
And when you look at the Kings matchup, they have that date circled. They love to compete, and they feel they can play very well against that group if they can execute.
Medu, he's checked in for the Spurs. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Leonard's checked in. DeRozan against Leonard. DeRozan passes to Medu. Here is Forbes to the wing on the left. For 3, Murray. Rebound by Harrell. Clippers trail by 4. It doesn't go for him. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for the Spurs. They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Forbes the pass to Medu. Pass to Aldridge. Over Morris. And that one hits back iron.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
And the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Leonard. San Antonio calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. There's the dish to Harrell. Inside Leaner, and the jumper falls for him.
Challenging the bigger defender, cutting him down to size with that one.
Well, the size mismatch is no problem for this fella, guys. I mean, how much do you like seeing that aggressiveness from him?
Taking a look at Los Angeles. They've got Paul George. Harrell is out there with Morris. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
And they've had the advantage tonight on the glass, and that's another big one.
And in a close game like this, it can be won or lost on the boards. They've got to keep it up.
And he's got the athleticism and strength to be a powerful presence inside. Leonard never afraid to get in and mix it up down low.
The pass to DeRozan. Over George. Now Murray. The 3. Morris with the rebound. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart. And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And you know, that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
Aldridge kicks to Gay. Knocked loose. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way. And then Leonard with the dunk.
And, you know, the intensity Leonard plays with on defense is impressive, using his huge hands to claw the ball away.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're trailing by 2. 1:56 left in the game. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Bryn Forbes, he's checked in for Medu. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. This is a close game, as you know, but he sounded extremely confident. He told the players, don't let up now, fellas. This is when we make our move. Right now. Kevin?
Murray with the bounce pass. And the dunk by Aldridge.
Because he knows how to come through, you know exactly why they go to Aldridge in these spots.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're up by 2. 1:29 left in the fourth. .29 left in the fourth quarter of this one. To the wing right side. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Clippers.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think you also have to give them a lot of credit for how well they've risen up to meet shooters, to challenge shots in this game. A lot of blocked shots tonight.
Right wing. Fades and shoots. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
The ball distribution was there. I mean, outstanding work all the way around.
San Antonio's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Good! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Aldridge never backs down in these big moments. A player who wants the ball in clutch situations.
Shot clock at 6. And here's George for 3. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're trailing by 6. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
There's still a sliver of hope.
Yeah, but they've got to score and then foul him.
And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
And, you know, Beverly is easily one of the most tenacious defenders in the league. An absolute pest of epic proportion. Love his energy.
So the Clippers with the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy. This crowd was... They turned it around and used it as motivation to out a significant win.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
Look, don't get me started, but here's my thing with instant replay. We've had it for a long time.
Welcome back to 2K TV. Bill Simmons, the sports guy. Now, the sports guy is your nickname, but if you were a player, what would you have as your nickname?
Washed up.
Washed up,
Yeah.
that's it?
Yeah, I quit.
What's up, Coach? Okay, you're gonna run with the starters tonight. We want to give you a look at the first unit, see how it goes.
What about?
No, I already talked to him. We're gonna do what's best for the team, which means you have got to perform. You earned this spot, but it's up to you if it sticks.
I got you. I won't take anything for granted.
Make this count, Jay.
Will do. Understood.
Hey. Good luck out there, kid.
Hey, thanks, Sarge. I appreciate you.
Hey, Che.
What's
I
up?
need you with the rest of the starters. We're going to take a pic for social.
A picture? Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's go. All right, gentlemen, let's huddle up here for photo. Get all in there. All right, group up a little bit more. Okay, why don't you guys take a big step back? That look good? Okay. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you,
That was
appreciate
great.
it.
Thank you so much. That turned out really well.
The bronze likeness of Lakers great Magic Johnson that can be found just outside the front door of our location. We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear.
Well, it was just a matter of time before Che...
Thank you for that, David. Greg, quite a few people have been expecting this to happen.
Yeah, with the amount of time Che spent in college, you figured he'd be polished coming into the league. The question was, would he buy in? And I think we've gotten our answer.
So a look at the starters for the Wizards. Wall runs the point with Beal at the 2. Bryant is out there with Davis Bertans. And it's Brown in at the 3. And for Los Angeles, we've got Marcus Morris. He's out there with Harrell. Paul George is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Now, when it comes to load management strategy, Doris, should coaches do it along the way as opposed to waiting until the last, say, quarter or third of the season?
Well, Kev, I think you can look to the San Antonio Spurs, who I think were the first to really look hard at what we would now describe as load management. And I think the one thing is you're trying to just make sure guys are prepared for the most important point of the season. You've got to win enough to get in the playoffs and be positioned well, but your guys have also have to be healthy at the end of the year.
Now, here's Wall, guarded closely. Down to 5 on the shot clock, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
And this is where John Wall sets himself apart, the ability to get contact and finish with the best of them.
From deep, George traps in the tray.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Now here's Wall. He's tightly guarded. Beal the pass to Wall. The pass to Bryant. They double team Beal. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. To the middle, here's Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Well, almost effortless there from Kawhi Leonard. The reach and leaping ability. Look out.
Passes to Bryant. George against Beal. Bryant trying to free himself up. Beal can't get it to go.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Wizards have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Brown with it. Leonard picks him up. Wall looking it over.
Well, Well, Scott Brooks now in his 4th year as coach of the Wizards, and it's been a bit of a mixed bag for him so far in his tenure in the D.C. area. And think about it, guys, under the gun now because the GM who hired him was now let go.
Leonard with the steal.
Terrific anticipation by him, and that's why he's out on the court.
He gets that one.
You simply have to respect the passing ability of Paul George, his ability to read and react and make the right choice. So good.
And Doris for Brooks. He'll be doing what he can to get this team back in the playoff hunt.
And I think, Kevin, the area they must address is the defensive end of the floor. Listen, they have thrived offensively under Scotty Brooks. But this team, if you're going to get into the playoffs and thrive, you've got to be a quality defensive unit.
And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And so he hits the technical free throw.
Well, I don't know that when he was selected 10th overall back in 2010, that the casual fan understood that Paul George would become one of the most effective two-way players in the NBA, but he's done just that.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Mahimi comes in for Bryant, and it's Hachimura in for Bertans. Brown outside. The dish to Beal. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Wall passes to Mahimi. And the rejection by Harrell. Here's Leonard. Falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
Well, Kawhi Leonard meets the defender at the rim, and he comes out on top.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Wall, no luck.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
And yes, it's good. 6 points for Kawhi Leonard.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
And the Raptors went all in trading for Kawhi Leonard last season, Doris. Great talent surrounding him in Toronto, but this past summer, he decided to move on.
But, Kevin, a championship makes the gamble worthwhile if you were Toronto. For Kawhi, any team he plays on is going to have a chance to win. And now this young man, a champion, starts a new chapter.
Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Pulls up from the corner. Another one falls for the Clippers.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Hachimura, the pass to Mahimi. Right side Wall. Over to the wing. They need this. Takes it off the glass. Wall's got 6 points.
Boy, it seems like every shot he puts up, it's going in. This guy is hot, hot.
23 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Pulls up. Rebound by Mahimi. There's Brown with the 3, and that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. Right back after this break. Some big goals for John Wall. Look. And GA, that's exactly what you want to hear from your leader.
Lofty goals, for sure. But the key for Wall is staying healthy and trying to contribute any way he can.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
what we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys have done a great job guarding multiple positions.
So this is how the floor looks for the Wizards starting the second. They've got Smith, Hachimura out there with Mahimi. Then there's Peyton, and it's Napier in at the point. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Mahimi.
You know, one of the biggest issues for the Wizards, obviously, has been their defense. I think part of that comes from not having the kind of rim protectors you need. They haven't been able to stay healthy there. But I think a bigger portion, guys, is simply a lack of effort.
Here's Williams, and the rejection by Mahimi.
And this is what you like about Jan Mahimi defensively. He might not be the highest flyer, but big-time enforcer.
Clippers leading by 6. And the lack of effort on defense, though, it's been a big problem in Washington.
Well, it's resulted, Kevin, in the team being second to last in points allowed last season. I don't think there's enough urgency and pressure from any position. And it also shows up in their rebounding numbers, Kev. There's a lot of things to be addressed here.
Landry Shamet's checked in for the Clippers. Bryant is checked in for Washington. Davis Bertans comes in for Peyton. Williams kicks to Zubats. Pass to Shamet. Jackson from long range. And again, it's the Clippers missing. And again, no good by the Clippers.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
And it's Napier missing. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. In the second quarter, held scoreless. A shot off that time.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Here's Hachimura. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Bertans finds Napier. Outside Bryant from the arc, sinks the triple.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Clippers leading by 3. Pass to Patterson. Or sometimes what was once considered a negative becomes a positive. For example, tweeners are now looked at as very valuable assets and very versatile assets.
Yeah, Kev, no doubt. Like, think about how much the game has changed for players like
Now here's Beverly. And the last second attempt does not go in for him.
Believe it or not, defense might be John Wall's strong suit.
And that's it for the first half of action in what's been a very close game here. Clippers lead. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. It's been one outstanding game from George.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
They've got Harrell. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Paul George. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers. Wall dishes to Beal. And there's the call on Montrezl Harrell. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Outside, Wall connects from 3-point range. Wall's got 11.
Wow, how about John Wall shooting that with confidence? That skill just gets better and better.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And he's known as the Claw. Kawhi Leonard doors with some of the biggest hands in the NBA.
Well, consider, Kevin, that hand is over 11 inches from thumb to pinky. That's 52% wider than the normal hand. Basically, his hands correspond to a person who would be almost 9 feet tall. Incredible. Boy, he was wide open. You wonder, did he overthink it? That's a missed opportunity.
And you can see he just has a great overall feel for this game. Excellent job tonight.
And that's been his role pretty much from the opening tip. Get the ball to guys where they can score it.
Here's Wall. Doesn't go that time. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way. They've led by as much as 10. And that one drops. Now it's a 7-point Los Angeles lead.
Wow, what a start. 3 for 3. Terrific play calling. Everything clicking out of the gates here.
Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Lets it go from the wing. Almost, but it rolls out.
Only 20% shooting in this quarter. They need to settle down and relax a little bit here.
Morris with the bucket.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Outside, Wall. And he banks in the layup. He's got 13.
Oh, that's a big-time move right there by John Wall. Go to work.
And there's the pass to Harrell. Down low from 11 feet away. Again, Los Angeles.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
So timeout called here. The first for Washington. Paul George really making a difference here.
He is on a major role today. This timeout was desperately needed. They've got to come up with a new game plan designed to shut him down.
For the Clippers, Zubac is checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Patterson comes in for Marcus Morris. Lou Williams is subbed in for Jordan. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Mahinmi's checked in for Thomas Bryant. Hachimura comes in for Davis Bertans. Smith checked in for Brown. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for John Wall. Smith right side. Outside, Beal. Clock at 6. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
And they continue to control the glass.
Inside, Patterson. Nice pass. Right into the rack perfectly for the layup. Patterson's got the lead up to 11 now for the Clippers. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Smith the pass to Napier. And a miss there on the triple. Here's Los Angeles now. They're on a 14-5 run. Out left to the wing. 1:19 left in the third. It's stolen by Mahinmi. Out to the wing. There's the 3. It's rebounded by Lou Williams.
Well, you can see why the defense dared him to shoot it. That's not really his spot.
Good ball movement here by the Clippers. The second effort. And Patterson with the lay-in. Good. Patterson's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, you have to get something out of that possession, and thanks to Patterson's work on the glass, heads-up play to score that.
Mahinmi passes to Hachimura. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And out of Japan, a real interesting prospect, Hachimura. 1:32 left to play here in the fourth. Pass to George. Dishes it to Morris.
Well, Marcus Morris is a guy who is unafraid of a little contact. That's a nice play right there.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. Thomas Bryant is checked in for Washington. Brown comes in for Ish Smith. And the second of 2 is good. That will push the lead to double digits. So on the floor for Washington. Ball runs the play with Beal at the 2. Davis Bertans out there with Brown. And it's Bryant in at the 5, down low. Hands it from downtown.
What an outstanding pass. And Bradley Beal has come such a long way as a playmaker.
Kicks it to George. Morris. Back to George. Clock at 4. Goes up on the wing. That one off the back iron and out. And so it's Wall with it, bringing it up for the Wizards. They trail by 7. Count it! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Crunch time is my time. John Wall is ready and willing to carry the load.
He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game.
Well, just knocking them down from the charity stripe, extending the lead. Simple basketball.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They trail by 7. 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Kawhi Leonard.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They're behind by 7. 27 seconds left to play in the final quarter. .27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Beal the pass to Wall. His three-pointers off the mark. Well, for the Clippers, they can just run out the clock. George against Beal. Now George. So the Clippers with the win. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah.
Nice work, Che. Keep it up.
Appreciate it, Coach. Hey, good game, bro. Appreciate it, solid.
Che, talk to me about your first start. How did it feel out there? It looked like you were pretty comfortable.
Oh, man, it's so dope. Man, that's a good question. I guess just, you know, that feeling of having your name announced with the rest of the starters, feeling the vibe that the fans are putting out and taking in all that energy. It got me hyped. I felt like I could run through a brick wall after that. It was crazy.
Man, this year was so much fun, but it definitely came with some challenges. Thank goodness for 2K.
That's right. In fact, it's been an honor for us to share our...
There it is, the Staples Center in Los Angeles, where we're getting set to bring you all of today's action. Hello and welcome. TA, it's all yours.
Blazers coach Terry Stotts had previous head coaching stints.
The players love him. Thank you, David. And they'll have some minutes to make up for with an injury in their roster.
Short a rotation player, nothing they can't overcome, but it does shrink your margin for error just a bit.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Nurkic is out there with Whiteside, and it's Hood in at the 3, the small forward. And for Los Angeles, Kawhi Leonard is out there with Morris. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Harrell. And tonight, Brent, classic battle of pivot men. Talk about some of your favorite center matchups historically.
Well, we hear a lot and we see a lot in terms of the nostalgia of Wilt Chamberlain going up against Bill Russell. I remember years watching in front of the television Hakeem Olajuwon playing against David Robinson in some Western Conference battles. I don't know that we're going to see that much in the next 4 or 5 years, Kevin. We know where the game is going, and those post matchups end up becoming somewhere near the three-point line nowadays.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now, here's George. Coming off a solid outing against Washington. Lets it fly. That one a little long. And here's Portland. Here's Hood. And it's sent back by George.
Not many guys have the two-way ability of a Paul George, just as dangerous defensively as he can be offensively.
The Trailblazers shooting their first free throws of the game.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
And Morris has got the ball here for the Clippers. It's Harold, top of the key. Morris against Whiteside. Outside Leonard, just 5 on the clock. Gets a very good look and converts.
Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
Lillard with no one around. The long distance three is buried. Lillard's got 6.
Yeah, keep thinking that he can't shoot it from there, and he'll prove you wrong. Lillard lofts one of those high-arching bombs.
And about Whiteside inside, covered by Morris. Nurkic, the pass to Hood. Back to Nurkic. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
Nurkic with the pump fake does a good job fooling the defender that time.
You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
Morris is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Montrezl Harrell. Then it's Paul George. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Hood can't get it to go.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game. Can't talk enough about the subtleties in that setup right there. The assist, really the key to that entire sequence.
Here's Trent. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. To the inside. Whiteside. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. Whiteside's got his first 2 points. Pass to George. Count the basket. And the Clippers lead by 9.
Yeah, we love when great offensive players get in a scoring rhythm, but Paul George right now in a great passing rhythm tonight.
And the pass to Trent. Back to McCollum. The 15-footer, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. McCollum's got 12 in the game.
Yeah, that first quarter was a bit shaky. Good to see a player who doesn't let a slow start get to him.
Leonard on the wing, goodbye Hood. This is to George. Shoots it. Portland grabs the miss. Whiteside's got 5 rebounds tonight. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Trent can't hit. Clippers leading by 7.
And last season for the Blazers, all about bouncing back from their embarrassing first-round sweep at the hands of the Pelicans.
Well, that was definitely a motivator, and I think they put that to bed. Wanted to focus on being the best team that they could be towards the end of last season, and that Nurkic injury really took some wind out of their sails, but they continued to compete and still made noise in the postseason.
Whiteside, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And Whiteside at his size is a super tough cover for the defense, which is why they resort to fouling.
Portland, they have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Lou Williams is checked in for the Clippers.
Well, you watch Whiteside out there and you understand just how much of an impact he can make with his defense. Great length, great timing, and makes some offenses change the way they're going to attack you just because of his size alone.
A reason or what?
Well, he finds some space in that in-between gap there, Kevin. Too bad he can't release that one on target.
The Clippers have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
You've got to appreciate their ability to make free throws, 81% as a team.
Zubac is checked in for Los Angeles. Murray comes in for George. Zach Collins checked in for Portland. Little comes in for Hassan Whiteside. Lillard attacking. Collins trying to break free. And it's Lillard missing.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Leonard dishes to Williams. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Williams has got 8.
Well, you got to honor Lou Williams' shot from deep, especially if he's got other things going offensively. Has a great feel for when to pull the trigger.
Now, here's Lillard. He's got 8. The tray. The shot will not fall. And so it's Los Angeles going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've been playing. We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Reggie Jackson has been sensational.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half. Just taking what he can get from the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Whiteside is out there with Rodney Hood. And it's Nurkic in at the 5, roaming the paint. Brent, you know, the moving screen is one of those very difficult judgment calls, isn't it?
It's a tough one, Kevin, but what you look for all the time in replays when you see that call, it's almost like the salsa. I'm looking at the hips and the feet. If the feet are too wide, and Kevin Garnett was the biggest problematic moving screen setter that I ever saw, being 6'11" and spreading out those sticks of his. But if the feet go wider than the shoulder, impossible. And then the hip move as the defender is moving around the screener, just enough of a nudge for him not to be able to catch up.
Yes.
Those are the ones where the referees, I think, are most in tune to in order to blow the whistle.
Here's the teardrop, and it's Lillard missing.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And it's Leonard missing. Trailblazers trail by 12. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Lillard surveying the D. They get the rebound. Hits. Count that one from Nurkic.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
And as things present themselves throughout a game, teams have to adapt on the fly.
Timeouts are a wonderful opportunity to just...
.27 seconds left to play in the third. Little passes to Collins. Here's Lillard. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Yeah, Lillard is fearless, able to take that hit and calmly knock one down and one.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Los Angeles leading by 16. Pass to Leonard. To the middle. Banked in off the glass. He's got 8.
Well, a lot of times we talk about good passing, but accurate passing is a huge quality of a good pass, and Leonard did it there.
And so it's Los Angeles with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's what great passing will do for you right there, dissecting the defense with that play.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. Taking a look at Los Angeles. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Morris is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George.
Yeah, we could be having one of those nights where he becomes the one-man show for his ball club. You just don't need to tell him to keep scoring. He'll do it.
Back to Leonard. 5 on the clock. Can't hit the free throw line jump. And it's Willard with the ball. He brings it up for the Portland Trail Blazers. They host the Kings after this game. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for them.
How about the experience paying off here as Ariza excellent at noticing that his man was wide open.
McCollum against George. Outside Leonard. He tries for 3. And it's Portland with the rebound. McCollum's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level, and his tonight has been high. Well, he now has 4 3-pointers this game, guys, 2 in each half. He's really spacing out the floor for his teammates.
Leonard against Ariza. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Outside, George from deep. Ariza with the rebound. Trailblazers trail by 11. Lillard from outside. The rebound by Paul George. George has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Leonard with no one around. Good on the triple.
So money on the catch and shoot. I don't know what the defense is doing there, giving Kawhi that shot.
Now a timeout called by Portland. You know, so many great dribblers, ball handlers in this league right now. Who's the best at shooting off the bounce?
Well, 3 prime candidates to do that, Kevin, exist at the point guard position, and I put James Harden in the point guard category with how much he has the ball. Harden, Kyrie, Steph Curry, 3 great names that are able to find their way.
Here's Trent. So the Clippers winning this one easily. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a... It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Alden, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. See you later.
My point, Harden, is that the game changes. It evolves. This is Hank and the Hornet on 9.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. The 2K Sports pregame show.
If you're That's a look at our settings tonight. The picturesque city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining. And we've got time for a quick pregame report.
Well, for the Milwaukee Bucks,
they are fun to watch. Thank you, David. Bill, you know, you look at the ascension of the Milwaukee Bucks. Are they the model on how to build a contender as a small market team, do you think?
I don't think that, because their motto was basically they drafted a 6'9" guy from Greece who fell out of the lottery, and then he grew 3 inches and became an MVP and was amazing, and I don't think that's replicable.
And it's not like he fell into their lap, but I mean, there is an element of that. I mean, they couldn't possibly have guessed he'd be what he is.
No, you have to get lucky.
Yeah.
And whether you're getting lucky at the top of the draft or like with Golden State got Steph Curry 7th, you have to get lucky with somebody. And this is why the Celtics during this decade, they took all these swings at high lottery picks. Philly did too, hoping you get lucky with somebody. Philly got lucky with Embiid. Unclear if the Celtics got lucky with anybody, and Milwaukee got the luckiest.
Here are the 5 for the Clippers. We've got Montrezl Harrell. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Paul George. And for the Bucks, Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. Then there's Bledsoe. Then it's Chris Middleton. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 2 spot.
And I just love the aggressiveness from George, just slicing apart the defense with that terrific ability to penetrate.
Bill, in the age of positionless players and positionless basketball, is there any player that your opinion is more versatile than Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I think KD is probably more versatile because he can basically do anything you want offensively and guard for the 5 positions defensively. I think what makes Giannis so unique is he's basically a center, but doesn't have to play center and can play any of the 5 positions. But if you look at his stats last year versus any Shaq season, it's basically the same season. He's doing 27 and 13. He's protecting the rim. You don't think of him as a center, but he really is. But I think what makes him special and what is the next level for him is his ability to play point forward or point center on one end, but then protect the rim on the other end. And once he adds that last piece offensively, which, you know, for Kawhi, it wasn't until, like, what, 2017? And he had that, all of a sudden he could create that little 18-footer for himself, and then he became unstoppable. That's the last piece for him.
And how about the initiative there from Antetokounmpo? Excellent at seeing lanes to the basket and then just taking advantage.
And Bill, when you yourself get out on the court, is there a player you try to channel or emulate, and try to visualize in your mind?
You mean when I'm playing pickup?
Yes, yes.
Oh, well, now, at this point in my life, it's Davis Bertans. Is that how you say his name?
Davis Bertans.
Davis Bertans?
Yeah, yes. What a great stroke.
I emulate all stretch fours if I guard anybody.
Yeah.
That's who I am at this point in my life. I run from three-point line to three-point line.
You stay in the perimeter.
Yeah.
Don't tangle up inside.
My free throw attempts are 0 because I don't go to the line.
Just fire away.
And I want you to know I'm there to make an open jump shot. And don't ask me to do anything else, please. I'll set some picks.
You are. You're a great screen
set some picks.
You're a great pick and roll.
Woo, blown opportunity right there. Won't get many chances easier than that one.
Stolen. And pushing it up. Here's the Clippers. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Los Angeles shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And when you got a team percentage of about 81%, you're going to be one of the elites in this league.
And Bill, over a quarter of today's NBA players were born in a country other than the United States. The talent is that broad all over the globe.
And Giannis was born on another planet. We don't know what planet
he is
was.
Otherworldly.
It wasn't Earth. I think he just got dropped from some satellite. Yeah, this all starts with...
I love it, too. Don't you? I love the fact we've got players from Latvia and Greece and all over.
What's cool about it is they all kind of have distinct identities and quirks, and one of the things that makes somebody like Doncic so much fun to watch is he's not like anybody else. Like, he's close to James Harden, but he's also that step back three that he was taking that he's been making his whole life. Other than Harden, nobody was even really shooting it that way, you know? And I think there's an unselfishness with the European guys that is really useful for the way the Americans style.
100% agree.
They really, guys move without the ball, give and go, and it's not just like clear out, I'm up.
Yeah. Hill left side. Here's the floater, and it's good on the layup. Hill's got 6.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
For the Milwaukee Bucks, they won their last contest, that game against the Pistons in Detroit.
And bottom line, they found ways to score. Credit the game plan going in. It was right on the money.
They knew that the arena would be rocking. And if they could execute well on the offensive end, they knew they could quiet down this hostile crowd.
Drops in the layup for 2. 8 points for him.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
30 seconds left in the first. And it's the Bucks on the break. Shots good by Middleton.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
On the wing, Williams. 5 to shoot. Shoots over Matthews. Again, Los Angeles.
Not to be denied, you see the defender closing out. Williams pays him no mind.
George Hill. He's been the guy making things happen for the Milwaukee Bucks. He notched 8. And pronouncing Giannis Antetokounmpo's name correctly has been a challenge.
The worst I've ever heard was
substitution here for Milwaukee. Marvin Williams is checked in for Lopez. Antetokounmpo comes in for Ilyasova. Dante DiVincenzo, he's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And Eric Bledsoe subbed in for George Hill. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. Morris is out there with Harrell. Then there's Landry Shamet. Then it's Williams. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, for the last 5 years, the Golden State Warriors have been the colossus that stood over the NBA. And there were thoughts that most teams were not willing to do things to be competitive, knowing that they could not beat the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green, and then Kevin Durant. But the Warriors lost to the Raptors in the finals last year, combined with the injuries to Durant and Klay Thompson, have opened things up. And for the first time in a long time, there are any number of teams in this league that believe it's their time.
Probably so. The West is strengthened, there's no doubt, DA. Interesting matchups coming up for sure. Thank you. Bill, we so appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with us. Always feels like there's so much more to talk about, which means we got to get you back here, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And Steve, you get the sense that no NBA topic is off limits when you talk to Bill Simmons.
He gets the discussion going, whether you agree or disagree with him. That's part of what makes sports fun, having those debates. And sometimes we get to see the players in the debate on the court.
For 3, Middleton. Rebound by Harrell.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
At the top of the key, Williams. Passes it to Harrell. And Morris throws it down.
And the thing about Morris, doesn't have the big vertical, but tenacious once he gets around the rim.
Bledsoe finds Lopez. Fires the three. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And the Clippers call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty. Seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Here's Antetokounmpo, and Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Outside Williams. Lays it up and banks it in. Williams has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Despite having a small frame, this is a big part of Lou Williams' game. Taking it up strong inside.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Floats one. Yep, that one goes. Williams has got it back down to single digits for Los Angeles.
A much different player here in the second half. He's taking advantage of what the defense allows.
Here's Bledsoe. Lays it up off the glass. Bledsoe's got 9.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Tries a 3. That's tipped. Here's Harrell. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They've had active hand. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Very unselfish. If you appreciate teamwork, this is the kind of play that will get you up out of your seat.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the 4th, we've got Marcus Morris. He's out there with Paul George. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Williams. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
Steve, we're seeing teams around the league putting up a lot of 3-point shots. I'm sure you would have enjoyed playing in this era so much with that green light shooting threes.
I would, Kevin. Getting a chance to shoot maybe 5 or 6 more 3-point field goal attempts takes your numbers up. But I also think a lot of these teams are copycats. Everybody can't shoot the 3. Work on your game and what's best for you.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Lopez is checked in. Offensive rebound.
And that's just great work there to get in the shooter's space and then go and corral that backboard.
Out to Morris for the 3. Not going to go that time. And Milwaukee the other way now. Harrell, that's good.
Incredible activity from Montrezl Harrell. So many of his points is off the offensive glass.
Lopez outside. From outside the arc, trains the 3-pointer. Lopez has got the lead up to 14 now for the Bucks.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Williams. The rebound by the Bucks. Antetokounmpo's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And it's Bledsoe off the drive. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Giannis has got 3 assists now in this one. Clippers trail by 16. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
From the wing, count that one. 6 points for Paul George.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. And perhaps the most shocking news of the NBA offseason, Greg, the trade of Paul George. Nobody saw that coming.
Took a ransom of draft picks to get him off the Thunder. Kawhi Leonard recruited him to join him on the Clippers, and Paul obliged.
Everly with the ball. So no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid. Built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying best of luck.
Yo, Che. What's up? I want you to meet Chris. He trains a lot of our guys in the offseason.
I know Chris, man. I follow you on Instagram. What's up?
Big fan of your game, Che.
For real?
Yeah, gotta respect someone that stands up for what's right.
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
So look, if you ever want to get in the gym, just hit me up. We can get to work.
Sure.
I got a lot of trust in Chris. All right, use him. He's a good resource.
Will do, man. You know, I'll take you up on that.
Appreciate the trust, Coach.
All right, guys.
What up, Levi?
This party's crazy. Hey, there's a great spread over there. There's some cupcakes that look like headphones. Highly recommend. The pulled pork sliders, I would avoid.
Right.
It's all over there.
All right.
Don't be shy. Come on, get out there. Everybody's looking for you. Enjoy yourself.